Hey everybody, it's Heather and I am filming this on the same day I filmed Friday's video, so I'm not re-wearing this outfit. The day is just still not over. In fact, it's only like 8 a.m. on Thursday. So this all happened in the past. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that it was up because I plan on being out of town Sunday, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna get it done now. So today is Spooky Sunday. I'm so glad you're here. And today we are going to talk about one of, the greatest rock bands ever, Led Zeppelin. I mentioned in a past video about historical figures who dabbled in the occult. Jimmy Page was on there, and I said, that actually every member of Led Zeppelin had kind of a story, and so I didn't want to go like super into detail in this one and have like a 45-minute long video, so I'm just gonna kind of sum it up, give you some blurbs. If you wanted like an individual, let's talk about everybody, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, everybody kind of video, we can do that. We can totally do that. They can each have their own Sunday. Just let me know. But for today, we're just gonna go through it. So, if you're not familiar with Led Zeppelin, first of all, shame on you. You don't have to love them, but you should know who they are. Their songs combine folk stories, occult references, they even allude to Lord of the Rings at times. Their album artwork is inspired by sci-fi and even the fall of Lucifer. There's so much happening, and actually if you're familiar with their one, I feel like it's maybe the most reproduced shirt. It's got the guy holding the lantern. That is actually a tarot card. It's the Hermit. And so all these things are just like interesting little tidbits, hey, the more you know. So the group has always been the center of rumors. When they started making a name for themselves, stories rose right away that they had sold their souls to the devil because, God forbid, anybody was just successful. Clearly they made a pact with Satan. Okay? Maybe that's how I can get more subscribers. So the whole thing was that supposedly they made this bargain for skills and success, for fame, for fortune, and it helped fuel these rumors that Jimmy Page was a serious student of the occult. As I mentioned in the last video about the occult, he had an occult bookstore, which I still think is pretty cool. He was a particular admirer of Aleister Crowley, and again, that didn't really help dispel these rumors. Instead, it was sort of like fuel to the fire. He had actually bought a home that Crowley had lived in. So, there's a lot happening. So in November of 1971, this record just sort of appeared in record stores. The cover depicted a man carrying a bundle of sticks, and when opened out, remember this is an album, not a CD, when opened out, a picture appeared to be hanging on the wall of a demolished building. So it was, here's this guy with a bundle of sticks, open it up, and it's actually a portrait on a destroyed building. Make sense? I'll put a picture up. So the outer sleeve bears no title, group name, logo, anything, and even on the skinny little spine of the album, there's nothing written. There's no, studio name where it was produced. It's just very mysterious. And the inside shows the Hermit of the tarot card deck standing on a mountain, and below there is a long-haired figure sort of looking up at him. And only when you take out the inner sleeve of the album, which is what the vinyl would be in, FYI, do you see the four symbols known to belong to Led Zeppelin and the names Jimmy Page and Peter Grant, because they had produced it and written it, so they had their little sort of copyright stuff in there. So when it obviously became known, they were the ones who did this album, and I think, am I right, that album went on to be like their most successful? No, that's a lie. Is it? Somebody fact check me. I don't know. But Jimmy Page, when obviously everyone knew that this was theirs, he stated that each symbol was chosen by each group member to represent themselves. The symbols were chosen from standard occult works, specifically the Book of Symbols or the Book of Signs, and the left to right belong to Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, John Bonham, and Robert Plant. And I'll put those symbols up here. There's also a triple triangle given to folk singer Sandy Denny because she contributed vocals for the song The Battle of Evermore. So that was sort of hers, and it was said that she got that symbol because the triangle is very representative of the female body, etc., etc. So a band cannot have all of these occult ties without accusations, especially about what became known as the curse of Led Zeppelin. So Robert Plant, by the way, was fascinated with Celtic mythology, and that's why I'm saying each band member does have their own backstory, but it would be a lot to go through all of them, and so I'm not going to do that unless you ask, because I don't want you to be like, skip, this video is so long. But yeah, so he was really all about Celtic mythology, and his family was involved in a really horrible car crash that left him unable to walk without help for some time afterwards. His son, Carrick, how do you say his name? I'm sorry, was 6 when he died from a stomach virus. Actually, it was some sort of kind of unknown stomach virus, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong in time to save him. Very, very sad. Page himself was almost lost to heroin addiction, and Bonham died after a drinking binge in 1980. Jones, said to have not entered the pact with the devil, was left relatively unscathed, and the cessation of the group's activities. So the whole thing was that, well, all of them have gone through some sort of horrible experience, but he didn't. So clearly it's because he's still on God's good side, is basically what it came down to. I don't know about that. And who's to say that he didn't go through something and just somehow wound up keeping it sort of more private than everybody else? I mean, you know, I think that we forget that celebrities are people, and especially back then, I mean, you know, they were huge. Everybody knew who they were. Everybody, whether they, you know, hated them and thought that they were devil worshippers, or if they loved them, it didn't matter. Everyone knew who they were. So yes, it would have been a lot harder for them to have sort of hidden things, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened. So, you know, who knows? Maybe he was also in the pact and something terrible happened, but we hope not. I'm not saying I hope that that's the case. Anyway, moving on. So to avoid this being a super long video, I will stop there. But I mean, what do you think? Are the symbols evil? Do they represent something demonic? And all of them were actually sort of figured out, translated, if you will, except for Jimmy Page's symbol. That one has proven to be kind of difficult. So there's a lot of mystery there as to where that symbol came from, what it really means, etc., etc. I think, honestly, my opinion of this whole thing is that it's really cool, because I think that, you know what, more power to them. Not only did they make some great music that people really got behind, but they kind of came with a really cool story. Whether it's true or not, I mean, clearly people are fascinated by them. They still are fascinated by them. So, you know, it's interesting. And I think that too, you have to sort of look at the fact that they had all of these rumors and speculation about them, and they just kept doing what they did. They kept making music. You know, I think that especially today, if people were being accused of pacts with the devil and stuff, there would probably be lawsuits and stuff. I mean, it just gets really out of hand. And I've actually read blogs where people were like, you know, thanks to Led Zeppelin, I got to like my pagan roots, and now I'm a practicing witch, and la 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 la. And it's like, well, cool, okay, like whatever. So, you know, bands impact people, and if it's to practice magic or to go out and do non-magical things, I mean, that's cool. It's cool. Good for the Zeppelin. But anyway, do you really think that Crowley's influence was some terrible thing? Do you think it maybe bettered their music? Because, you know, they did have all these ideas and thoughts. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. I would love if, like, one day they just came out and were like, you know what? Yeah, we did. I mean, who knows? It would just be, it would be interesting. So we'll see if that ever happens. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss made a record. Do you really think that he was capable of doing anything with the devil? Satan, Alison Krauss. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you Friday. It is almost October, and I'm so excited because I have big things planned for October. I cannot wait to see you guys back here. But anyway, I hope the rest of your weekend is phenomenal, and I will see you guys later. Bye!